Many years ago, in a valley forgotten by time, an epic battle changed the fate of a nation. This is the Valley of Elah, where Israel and the Philistines faced off in a seemingly endless war. This is the story of David, the youngest son of Jesse, a simple shepherd with a heart full of courage and faith. He was not a soldier, did not wear armor, but carried with him a strength invisible to human eyes. On the other side of the valley stood Goliath, a Philistine warrior feared by all. With his immense stature and extraordinary strength, he daily challenged the army of Israel, mocking and provoking. "Choose a man to fight me. If he wins, we will be your servants. If I win, you will be our servants." For 40 days, no one had the courage to face him. Discover now, in the incredible story of David and Goliath, a lesson of faith, courage, and the strength that comes from the heart. We are in the Valley of Elah, a desert and rocky area between the mountains of Israel. This valley has become the battlefield between the Israelites and the Philistines, two nations in constant conflict. The time is approximately 1020 BC, during the reign of King Saul, the first king of Israel. The Philistines, a warrior and powerful people, were invading the lands of Israel, threatening the peace and security of the nation. David was the youngest son of Jesse, from the tribe of Judah. He was a shepherd in Bethlehem, known for his skill with a sling and his faith in God. On the other side, we have Goliath, a giant nearly 3 meters tall from Gath, one of the 5 principal Philistine cities. Goliath was the most feared warrior of his time, known for his immense strength and impenetrable armor. For 40 days, Goliath challenged the army of Israel, humiliating them and provoking them to send a warrior to face him in a one-on-one combat. This challenge created fear and despair among the Israelites, who could find no one brave enough to face the giant. David was sent to the battlefield by his father, Jesse, to bring food to his brothers. Seeing the fear and discouragement in the Israelite army, he became indignant. Goliath, the Philistine giant, continued to challenge and humiliate the Israelite army. "Choose a man to fight me. If he wins, we will be your servants. If I win, you will be our servants." David, with courage and faith, asked, "Who is this uncircumcised Philistine to challenge the armies of the living God?" He could not understand why no one had the courage to face Goliath, trusting in God. Brought before King Saul, David declared his intention to face Goliath. The king, surprised by the young shepherd's boldness, tried to dissuade him, but David was determined. David explained to King Saul how he had killed lions and bears to protect his sheep. He believed that the same God who delivered him from the wild animals would deliver him from the hands of Goliath. Saul offered David his own armor, but David refused. He preferred to rely on his skills and God's protection. Armed only with his sling and 5 smooth stones, David prepared to face the giant. As David walked toward the battlefield, the Israelite soldiers watched in silence, incredulous and worried. They saw only a young shepherd, but David saw the opportunity to demonstrate the power of God. In the center of the valley, the young David and the giant Goliath faced each other. The fate of a nation depended on this confrontation. The tension was palpable, and all eyes were fixed on the two. Goliath, full of arrogance, advanced toward David, brandishing his gigantic spear. "Come here," he mocked, "and I'll give your flesh to the birds of the sky and the wild animals." David replied firmly, "You come against me with sword, spear, and javelin, but I come against you in the name of the Lord of hosts, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied." With precise aim, David slung a stone that flew swiftly, striking Goliath right in the forehead. The giant staggered, surprised, and then fell face down to the ground, dead. The giant Goliath, who had terrorized Israel, was dead. Silence fell over the valley for a moment, followed by a triumphant shout from the Israelites. David ran to Goliath, took the giant's sword, and cut off his head. The Philistines, terrified, fled in desperation, and the army of Israel pursued them, securing a decisive victory. The courage and faith of a young shepherd brought victory to Israel and showed the world that true strength comes from trusting in God. With Goliath's defeat, the Philistines fled in despair, and Israel celebrated a historic victory. David's courage and faith changed the destiny of a nation. The news of the victory spread quickly, and David was hailed as a hero. His unwavering faith and courage inspired the entire nation of Israel. Despite his victory, David remained humble and grateful. He knew that his strength came from God and that he had been an instrument in the hands of the Lord to deliver Israel. The story of David and Goliath teaches us a valuable lesson. True strength does not come from size or power, but from faith and courage. David, a young shepherd, faced an invincible giant with confidence in God and proved that with faith, any obstacle can be overcome. Just like David, we can find strength in our faith and the courage to face our own giants. Always remember, true victory comes from trusting in God and never giving up, no matter how great the challenges. With faith in God, no challenge is too great.